Testing. And snap. Okay. Hello, and welcome to Starsmadas. Today we are having a very special episode. We are unboxing the Star Trek Alliance game. I've spoken about this before. I had not too high hopes on when it would actually come out due to the pandemic and general WizKids issues. But lo and behold, 2 of my copies arrived. So first and foremost, what is Alliance? Well, let's quickly talk about the X-Wing game, the game that predated the Star Trek game. So the X-Wing game was a lot like the Star Trek game, but Star Trek Attack Wing, but it was smaller numbers, less ships, and a lot better quality in terms of how everything was made and produced. Now, Josh Dirksen created, well, he had taken, people had written AI, and people had written campaigns, and people had written, like, sort of RPG elements or things like that, but no one had really put them all together into one thing. So he went ahead and took these things, improved upon them, and put them all into one thing called Heroes of the Atari Cluster. And that was a single-player and co-op version of X-Wing. You played it just like normal X-Wing, but he had a whole bunch of AI sheets that he had created for all sorts of different Empire-based enemies, and you would use your own collection, or you would meet up with a friend, and so you and maybe 3 friends would get together. You'd bring your little X-Wings, your Y-Wings out, your B-Wings, and you would play these special missions against the AI, and if you didn't have enough TIE Fighters and TIE Decimators, your friend might. And so the idea was the more people you had together, the better the game would be. Well, during a pitch meeting with WizKids, Lavender Games, I think it is, which Josh Dirksen works with, pitched the idea of essentially making that, but for Star Trek Attack Wing, and as a standalone product. So instead of having to just use your old collection, you could buy this on its own, and it would have all the components you'd need, because there's a lot of printing that you needed to do to play Heroes of the Atari Cluster. I've actually played Heroes of the Atari Cluster. It's actually why I got into the X-Wing game, because I really wanted this. I really wanted to essentially play this, but this hadn't been made. This hadn't come out. I don't even know if it was conceptualized yet. But I really wanted to play something like this, so I went ahead and started playing the X-Wing game, and kind of got into it a bit. I eventually came back to Star, because I love Star. But now we finally have Alliance. I did the math on how many days I waited for this, and it's 676 days. A little under 2 years. So, how does this game work? Well, unlike X-Wing, where you just use whatever components you have, this game starts with either the Akira class or the Excelsior class. But I was in a thread on Facebook with Josh Dirksen himself, the guy who designed this game, Josh Dirksen, and he stated that you can use, well, okay, so first off, these are the 2 ships that you have that come in the box that you can play as. These are the enemies. But if you have other Federation ships, you can unlock those ships later in the game. And 3 of those ships, which are the... Not all Federation ships are available at this point in time, but some of them are. The Nova class, the Oberth class, and the Miranda class, you can unlock immediately. But according to the rulebook, you're not supposed to use them until you've played at least 1 mission. Like, the first mission. But in a thread I was mentioning that to someone. Josh Dirksen said, yes, you can in fact, pull out your Nova class and play as this on mission 1, but it's not balanced for that, so it'll be really difficult. And I think I might actually do this. I might actually play with the Nova, because I like doing silly things like that. That's basically the backstory. It's single player. You fly these ships, your 2 ships, as if you were playing normal Star Trek Attack Wing, but you have special build rules based off of how much XP your character progression determines how much stuff you can put on your ship. And these 3 ships here, you fight against these 3 ships. They come in on their own, or they start at the same time as you. They are all controlled by a AI logic card, which is like you roll a dice, and it says, well, if the enemy is here, then fly in that direction, stuff like that. Oh, ooh, sorry, I accidentally coughed right on the mic. And then, Where was I? Right, yeah, you draw a card which shows what this enemy's powers and equipment are. Instead of building, like, drawing from a whole deck of stuff for the enemy, it's all written out for you. Okay, now let's open it. I haven't opened this yet, so let's see. Oh! You know what? No, I'm not even going to look at the back. I already know what the back says. I looked at the prototype a long time ago. Okay, so, first thing I really like about this. These guys are just sitting in there. There isn't, like, a plastic tab thing holding them in. So let's see, can I get you to focus? No, because this is a super old camera. I got this when I was 13. Oh my gosh. I'm turning 26 this month, which means that this camera is almost half as old as I am. Hoo-wee! Actually, my room has bad lighting, so this right here, this little yellow white light here is actually a small laptop. I'm using it as a light. So here we have our new Jem'Hadar bugs, the ticks. The ticks, as they say in the Greatest Gen. So this is a very soft purple color with some, I think that's a deep green, almost like an olive drab here with some gold. Very nice. So if you want to compare that with the old ones, I have some of the old ones back here in this box. So I have the old Blind Booster version and the, what is it called? I have the Robinson. The Robinson is unique because it's a very deep purple, a very dark purple with yellows. So the gold is yellow on here, and the dark green is a light purple on here. This is my favorite version of the Jem'Hadar bug, and I once asked Josh Dirksen on Facebook whether we could play Alliance as the Robinson, and he said you could if you want to. That would probably be breaking some rules, because it is definitely it's not, he said, first and foremost, it's not balanced for the game. I think that the, what is it called? The Robinson's stat bar is very similar to the Saber, which is one of the ships you can control in this. Which means, I would say if you wanted to fly the, if you wanted to take a hand at flying the Robinson in this, and you might be asking, why on earth would you fly the Robinson in Alliance? Well, so you can have Jem'Hadar fighting Jem'Hadar. That's the only reason. This would, of course, just be homebrew, because you can only fly generic ships in this game. That's the thing. There's support for generic ships, because your powers are dictated by what cards you unlock. So once you reach, I think, XP level 4, it is, you can fly the Saber, in which case you could probably fly this. This is the Blind Booster version. So this is sort of what I consider the old standard. And we got the new standard. It's basically the same design, but it's so much nicer. Actually, this actually has more detail on it. It's just harder to see the detail because this one is very reflective, so it picks up on all the lovely little details in the light. But see, this one, this big triangle here, you can't really see it that well, is a flat gold. This one is purple, is dark purple, light purple, and has an outline of yellow. So this actually has more detail in it. Huh. Alright, but yeah, look, they just pop out like that. Oh my gosh, let's get to the Akira in a minute. Then we've got ourselves the... Alright, I was going to mention this. I'll save that for later, the cards. So what we have here is a new paint job for our Excelsior class. It's that same issue where I think what happened at WizKids was when they were modeling it orthographically from one of the angles, they accidentally used a squished image, so they squished the entire ship. Because head on, this is the right proportions. From the side, that looks mostly like the right proportions, but it's not to scale with this side. And then from the top, everything falls apart. Oh, there we go. So what's different about this ship from the original? Well, let's see. I have the original somewhere. specifically speaking, I have the Excelsior repaint and the prize ship hood. Here we go. Trying not to break my Enterprise model. Okay, so let's see the comparison. So we'll have the hood here. Hood will be here. Actually, yeah, the hood will be here. And the new Enterprise here. Sorry, the Excelsior repaint. And then the Alliance. So the original was a baby blue. The repaint was a perfect silver, and this is sort of a creamy white silver. It's like not as lustrous for one. You can see the difference in the reflections. Oh man, so what's a good way to describe it? I feel like there's definitely a Bionicle that had the same color. Or there's something about this. This is sort of like a Mega Bloks gray, but with a slight reflection to it. Let's see. The deflector dish is pretty much the same color, the light blue. Can't see anything on this camera, sorry. But it's sort of a white gray. I think I like this version best, because this version's too blue, this version's too silver. This one feels more like an Excelsior. Its dish is bent downwards, but considering the reprint Excelsior had a bent up dish, I think the original was pretty good. Yeah, I like it. There's additional color details in here to point out if you don't see these things. See, even though my room has bad lighting, I still have good eyes. So these are very soft blue. These little squares. Not the tiny ones, but the bigger ones. And there's a soft blue around here. And I want to say that the hull is a different silver than the pylons, but I don't think that's actually true. There's also a soft blue line right here. Yeah, this is a nice model. However, when I'm playing, because I bought 4 of these. 2 of them because I got 3 because I have 2 players along with me, so that way we can all fly in Akira. The other reason, now I could have just bought 2, because each pack can support 1 to 2 players, so if you buy 2, that's up to 1 to 4 players. But the other thing was, I thought to myself, eventually I'll probably want to buy another one of these, and they're going to be impossible to find, and they're going to be like $100 on eBay, so I just bought the 3rd, and then I got a 4th one, because I want to actually have a pack on standby, so I can give it away to someone later on who is new to the game and doesn't have a starter set, because of how I saw how hard it was to find starter sets. So I thought, I want to have a starter set sitting around somewhere, because this can function as a starter set, apparently, for stuff. I want to have something like this sitting around, so when push comes to shove, I'll be able to give someone a starter set if they're new to the game. And if I never can find anyone, then I'll make my own starter set with this, and maybe, like, the board pack, because I have an additional board pack for sort of that same reason. I want to be able to have people playing the game. Okay, so on to the Akira. This is my first Akira. For those who don't know, the Akira is the only starship in Star Trek named after an anime, and it is literally named after an anime, and it was because one of the 3D modelers, or some of the 3D modelers working on Star Trek, were really into anime, so named after Akira. Yeah, I'm going to hold it back here so it isn't as blurry. I'm sorry that it was so blurry for everyone. So, this is bulky. This is bulky and nice. The engines are really thick. I love the Akira class design. The little sort of fly-through hangar thing that was thought of. So let's compare this to the NX-01. I'll see if I can find that. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong box. Like the wrong compartment. Where's the NX-01? Hey, I need that. I need more light. Is this even in here? Where do I store it? No, that's the Saber class. Well, I may as well show you what the Saber class looks like. This isn't really so much this unboxing, but the Saber class is one of the ships you can play in this game. And there are two types of Saber class for attack wing. There's the light blue with red, and then there's the silver dark gunmetal with red. Okay. Huh. I'm not quite sure. I had to redo my... I've reorganized my ships so many times I don't know where things are anymore. Oh my gosh. All these Miranda classes. I have so many Mirandas. Take a guess at how many Mirandas I have. Same number of Oberths. I have 6 of each. And it was for a joke. Well, actually, yeah, it's sort of a joke. The Miranda's not so much. The Oberths, kind of. Is it in here? Yes, I found it. Here we go. The NX-01. I got faith of the heart. So the NX-01 design in the show was based off of the Kira, just flipped upside down. Oh, that's nice. So you can see the design similarities in them. The Kira is more menacing. It's got the weapons pod at the top, so the Miranda class style. But a lot cooler looking. This has some like almost like Cybertronian hull plating on it. Ah, that's cool. Let's get all the stuff back in there. Hey, I thought that would break. Okay, alright. Okay, so, we got yourself the Akira in dark silver. Well, standard. I would say this is standard Star Trek Attack Wing silver. Standard Star silver. Actually, is the saucer section a different color? Again, I'm freaking myself out. Oh, there's a red stripe here. That's nice. And a deep blue, a beautiful deep blue deflector. Okay, so now let's check this out. That's a lot of punch cards. Ding! Okay, so we got mission tokens, and apparently the mission tokens are numbered on one side and aren't on the other, and that's because of a special mission. So let's see, we've got the A, B, C, D, E, F. There's the A, E, F. Okay. We got our new maneuver templates. They are smooth, sort of like the 2017. Ooh, look at these nice crystal clear HD Dream Dot Distance Remake Flippin' Time tokens. Okay, so these are for the player. They're different colors, so you can mark the player. I hope they're... Oh, yes, they are. They come in 4 colors. That way you can have, up to 4 players. And if you have more than that, then you can just, I guess, mix and match them. So one person could be blue-green, the other one could be orange. I'm guessing the other one's red. Yeah, red. Okay. Alright, I gotta slow down here. Okay. So here we go, more mission tokens. Yeah, so they're unnamed on that side, and they're numbered on that side. We got our... Someone brought this up, one of the designers brought this up in a video, which is, why are there cloak tokens? That probably is in one of the missions. Ooh, we've got, oh, this is cool. So this is for 6-player support. We've got purple and bright green, or is that supposed to be yellow? I think that's a yellowy green. Okay, so that means that if you're playing, you can choose your ship to be colored blue, green, yellow, we'll say, purple, red, and orange. And then you can combine those to create a ridiculously high amount of permutations if you want to later on, if you have more players. Okay, so here we have a runabout token. So this was in Here's the Atari cluster, but it wasn't a token. Actually, there was a token for it. There was, I think, a small escort ship. But the main escort mission I remember from there, because yes, there was a token ship in there, was the, this reminds me of how, here's the Atari cluster, one of the first missions is, let's see if I can remember, escorting a, oh, it's been so long, Hawk 290, Hawk 390? It was Kyle Katarn's ship. Anyway, so we've got ourselves, finally, a runabout for the game. It's not a model, because WizKids said that they weren't allowed to make models for this game. They could only use pre-existing ones. Well, I've seen some. I was going to use a shuttlecraft as a stand-in, because I have the prize shuttlecraft. But someone else came up with an even better idea, which is to use the USS Raven, which is an Aerie-class ship. A lot of people think the Aerie-class ship is small. The Aerie-class ship is actually like 3 decks, and it is huge. It's not like massive, but it's like, the Aerie-class ship is roughly the same size as a Nova-class starship. They're big. They're big ships. Which is funny, because they can be crewed with as few as 2 people. Okay, so then we've got the Excelsior with a 3153 forward 180, rear 90, and then we've got the Akira. That's 4252. So the idea of the Akira is you get the evasion, you get the maneuverability, you get the high evasion, and you get the high attack, but you'll lose on some of the defense in terms of your shield, you're 1 shield less, and you're locked to a small arc. Luckily there's some upgrades to fix that. Then we got 3 tokens for the Jem'Hadar Ticks, Jem'Hadar attack ships, and they're 3232. This was an interesting one because in the way they had to like rebalance this game differently is, oh, my computer just went there. No wonder you guys couldn't see anything. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can remember. Right. And here's the Atari cluster, the parent game of this. There were a lot of ships you would be battling. Like, a lot. And in this one they had to lock it down to 3 so it could all fit in one box. But then again, in Attack Wing, the numbers are bigger. Okay, so let's see, what do we got here? We've got what appear to be objective tokens. Okay, so they're like asteroids. And then on the other side, we've got 2 Dominion orbitals weapon platforms. And what is this? It looks like a really well done satellite. They weren't kidding when they said that they really went in there and made sure everything was crystal clear so you could see what it is. That reminds me of the satellite used by Voyager, well, the Pathfinder project to talk to Voyager, but that I think is definitely something else, but it reminds me of it. Oh, and then there's these numbered tokens. Oh, and there's a destroyed Miranda class. When I play this mission, I might use my battle-damaged Oberth. It's somewhere in here. It looks... Actually, I'm not going to show you it. It looks awful. But I have a battle-damaged model I made. It looks terrible. Alright. I should explain these lines. So in order for the AI to interact with ships, it asks the player, essentially, what... Well, it's not a quadrant. I guess it would be an octarant, because there's 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we'll call them octarants. I don't know the name officially, if that's a thing, but it'll ask you what octarant your ship is in, and then what range, and whether you're looking at it, whether you're heading towards it or running away. And then when you roll a dice, it will choose a tactically sound maneuver based off of that. So it's like, what are the 3 best maneuvers that you could make if the player is coming in at the side? They might be like, oh, perform a small little come about and flank it, or fly like this, or like different things like that. And the AR card is actually down here, so let's move to that. Boom! And yes, this confirms it to the Manchester group. It comes with only 1 AI card, and that is the Jem'Hadar attack ship. So this is what I meant, right? So if your character's here, and heading at range 3, I think at range 2 to 3 is this black ring, at range 1 to 2 is this blue ring. Okay, yeah, so if you're within range 1, it's the blue ring, you read. If you're at range 2 and heading towards it, it's the blue ring. If you're at range 2 and running away from the ship, it's the black ring, and if you're just at range 3 or beyond, it's the black ring. So what happens is it shows you the stats for the ship, and then it explains the AI for the ship, and it's basic if statements. This is literally what would be happening. Like, if you're ever confused about how bad guys work in video games, this is a visual diagram that explains everything, basically. This is just basic video game logic, essentially. Actually, it's a little more complex, because usually they don't even bother creating randomization for a video game character. So, yeah, I'm gonna, instead of going through all the cards in this thing, because there's lots of places you can do that, I think I'll just run you through the AI. Because I think that's something a lot of people have questions about. So, let's see. Let's take a look at this here. And I'll look at the AI card. First and foremost, it chooses a maneuver based off of the mission orders. What does that mean? So from what I've seen, the mission orders usually revolve around a target, and this AI card is usually focused around targeting the player and chasing the player. But sometimes it could be something else, like chasing after a mission objective. So let's see. First thing it does during its turn is find the target's direction, and then roll on the magic maneuver table. Also, why is this AI harder? This AI doesn't choose its maneuver during the activation phase, during the planning phase. It reacts to the players. And if it's a basic one, it moves first, in which case it doesn't really react. But if it's an elite guy, because you can get elite units, their captain skill might be higher than yours, in which case they are cheating, essentially. They're choosing their maneuver based off of what you've already chosen. And anyone who's really played this game a lot and used those cards to let you change your maneuvers, know that that's a big advantage. Okay, so let's just read this. So, identify a target based on mission orders, find target's reign and direction, then roll on the matching table to the right. Perform the maneuver. If it's a red maneuver, skip the action instead of gaining an auxiliary power token. So it doesn't gain auxiliary power tokens from performing red moves. It just skips its action. Okay, for its action, it has several choices instead of upgrades. First and foremost, it removes an auxiliary power token. So there's probably a card in here which gives enemies auxiliary power tokens, and if not, they're future-proofing it. So if they make a future Alliance game, which has cards which give auxiliary power tokens, this AI will be ready to handle it. Because you can't use Star Trek Attack-On cards in here except for generic ships. And that's because this game is balanced onto itself. And it is reverse... well, it's not backwards compatible. Star Trek Attack-Wing is forwards compatible with this game, which means you can use cards from this game in Star Trek Attack-Wing. And some people are like, well, it's not that well balanced for it. Frankly, Star Trek Attack-Wing is a massive, massive balance. It's awful. So, who cares? Alright. So, remove an Ox. If he has a shot, as in if you are in the forward firing arc and in range 1 to 2, it'll take a battle stations. If not, but there are enemies nearby, like I'm parked here, right? It will choose an evasive. And if I'm nowhere nearby, then it will repair a critical damage, so I guess that means repair the critical damage and turn it to a regular damage, I guess? Wait, no, do these guys take criticals? I'll have to read the book. I'll have to read the book to see if they can take critical damage. Because I thought they might just take double damage. Anyway, no, I think that we'll find out, I don't know if to cover that in this video, but, then if none of those apply, it, scans. In combat phase, it fires its weapon on the nearest target. Okay, so there we go. That's the AI part. Whew! This video is already half an hour long. Alright. So, here are the damage cards. Now, apparently these are updated, so they work as normal Star Trek Attack-Wing cards, but apparently they're slightly better. or like they've got some changes in them. Combat console fire looks pretty similar, but I didn't think it activated during the combat phase. These are definitely changed. Like, look at that. Although maybe it's... I don't think I used the new pack. I think I've been using the OG, because I have the 2017 and the original. I think I've only been using the original. It's a lot of direct hits. Okay, this ship cannot use the text of its captain or any of its upgrades. I thought this is one that they would have changed. Because you don't have captain text in this game, but the bugs have captain text technically, and you do have elite talents. Minor explosion. Wow, these are really clear. I love how clear these are. I think I might just start playing with these ones. I love how clear these are. So easy to understand them. What? I don't... Okay, so there doesn't seem to be really anything different except that they're updated and they're so easy to understand. Like, I remember usually I'd have to read these cards and then I'd have to think for like, okay, I get what it means. No, that's good. I love these new cards. These damage cards. They're easy to understand. Okay, the dice. So you get your dice, you get your red and your green. The green seems to be a darker color. Let me just turn the laptop back on. Let's compare. Let's compare. Do-do-do. Okay, so here's a new green and an old green. They're almost identical, except the plastic I think is a little... Well, this is heavier. The new one's heavier. And because of this light shining on it, you can see it's just kind of a... like, you can't see it on the camera, but it's like slightly transparent in that it's less dense of plastic, so the light kind of leaks through on the sides. You don't get that on this one. Okay. Also, the swirls on this red one are a lot more visible, so it's kind of like a Zammer sphere from Bionicle. So this is the new one, I think. Oh shoot, did I mix them up already? Ah! Whatever. No harm, no foul. Okay, so you get 5 as the normal standard, which is nice. You get a blue 6-sided dice, classic, with its pips there. I like it. It feels nice. This is for the AI, because it gives you several choices. This is the D12. It appears to only be used for tracking game rounds. So these, unlike the Manchester group where we normally make everything up to round 10, this appears to go up to round 12. Once again, a game that comes with a D12 and you rarely roll it. Oh dear. Let's put these back in here. Oh shoot, I just realized I now have enough so everyone in my group can play with 5 dice each. Nice! Oh, and I guess that, so... I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna have to play this soon. Ooh, I'm actually gonna probably play one tomorrow morning or something. Okay, so let's see. I think these are just, you know, the... Oh, they're not fused by sticks this time. So make sure you got the right type. We've got our bases. They do not have the chevron arrow on them, so they're the new style. I probably won't use these then. I like using the chevron ones, because they're less likely to have you break your ship trying to put it on, just because you realize, oh no! Sometimes it's really hard to get these on straight. Like, sometimes it's like, what? And it just doesn't want to fit either way. See, this one's on an old base with a chevron. Kind of hard to see. Yeah, you can't see it. I'm planning to do a Let's Play of this. Probably not on this table. I'll probably do the Let's Play on Tabletop Simulator so you can actually see what's going on. But my starting ship is probably going to be a Nova, unless I get blown up terribly, in which case I might switch over to a Akira. Maybe I'll fly both. That's an option. Actually, there's a gap here on this Akira that my fingernail just got caught in. Anyway. Alright, let's see the cards. So the cards, you can identify them as Star Trek Alliance cards by both the tiny little chevron symbol and the back. And oh wow! Okay, so in the official Lavender unboxing, they talked about how sturdy and thick and firm these cards were. They do have, I would say, more elasticity to them in that they return to their shape. But they are thin. They feel almost like... You know what they feel like? They feel like sticker sheets. You know, where it's a wax paper on side with a sticker over top, and you feel it, and it's like... That's what these cards feel like. They feel like they're sticker sheets. Like you could peel it off. Although at the same time, it feels like this is less likely to bend because it's got more spring to it. Okay. So, oh wow, that's a lot of enemies. So these are the enemy ships, so when it calls you to draw an enemy, you have to draw one of these cards. This is just your generic load one blank card. This is Captain Skill. From the back, there's the Elite. And I'm going to read all these Elites off to you guys. So we got Captain Skill 4. I'm sorry you guys can't read this. This camera's focus is not good. This ship's shield's value is printed +3. So this ship's flying in with a... Oh dear, that's flying in with shield value of 5. This Elite. So let's see what this Elite is. Ooh! Captain Skill 4... Oh wait, so this was Captain Skill 4. This is Captain Skill 4. When attacking, during the modified attack step of the if this ship has a battle stations token beside it, convert one blank to a hit. Doesn't sound fantastic, but you have to remember, Alliance doesn't use the old Star Trek Attack Wing cards. You know, I'm going to replace this model with an Akira. Show off the Akira. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh no, it's horrifically crooked. Watch out, guys. Your Akiras may be very crooked. Why is it my... Same thing happened with my... what was it? My NX-01 was so crooked. This is almost as bad as the NX-01. Okay, alright. So keep in mind, you can't use all your old cards with this. So all those amazing combos you're thinking of don't exist. Ooh, 3 dice. Rolling 3 dice actually means something. Ah. Okay. So this is probably a lot stronger than it looks. Actually, that's one of the reasons why I also ordered 3. So I can have more access to the good cards. So when I'm playing, I'll have more options. Alright, so let's see. Jem'Hadar. Let's see what this Elite is. Captain Skill 4. When defending, if the ship does not have a battle stations, convert 1 battle stations to an evade. This is during the... I'm paraphrasing a couple of these cards. Let's see what this one is. Captain Skill 1, choose Captain Skill 4. When attacking, if this ship has no active shields, roll +1 attack dice. This is going to be more scary, I would think. Because now you're battling like an Akira. Firepower. So we've got another one, Captain Skill 4. Combat phase. If there are no opposing ships in this ship's primary firing arc, attack the nearest enemy ship at range 1 to 2 in any direction. This guy's got a 360 fire, and he doesn't have a limit on his dice, so he'll be rolling 360 fire. 3 dice at 360. When attacking, if this descending ship is within... If the defending ship is range 1 to 2, all damage... Oh no. Oh no! Oh no! It ignores shields at range 1 to 2! All damage, it doesn't... I think that counts for critical as well, because it's not written as a damage symbol. Oh dear. See, that's gonna suck. See, some people are saying, have sort of like posed, why would you play a Nova class when you can just stick with the Akira? And the idea is, if you throw the shield upgrade on the Nova, because this game comes with a shield upgrade, then the Nova actually has the same health as an Akira, and most of that health is shields, which is of course better than having hull. This elite ship is the one I'm going to be most scared of if I'm playing this. Okay. Oh, also, by the way, if you throw the 360 fire upgrade on the Nova, then it buffs its entire attack dice from 2 to 3. Although at range 3 it's still going to be a 2. You know. Alright, so let's see the other cards. Ugh, the stickers. They feel like stickers. Akira class. Interesting note, these don't have the chevrons. The ships don't have the chevrons on them. So you might want to keep these separate. Oh, but they still have the ginormous logos on the back, okay. So it's 4-2-5-2. Slot loaded is weapon crew. And it is... it's your basic standard run-of-the-mill dial, but it's got a common bout that's red. 3. Boop. Let's see what else we got. I should really go to sleep. So yeah, I'm not going to look through the whole rulebook with you guys because I'm too tired. Got the Excelsior. It's like the Akira, but it has a 2 reverse, and all the hard turns are red. The pictures are really clear on this. That's one thing that they wanted to do. They wanted to clean up the pictures. So this is 20 points. Now you don't actually... How much points your ship costs doesn't actually matter in this game, because you choose your ship and the points are used for upgrades. So it's attack, weapon, crew, so it's more versatile. 3-1-5-3. And this is where the fun begins. And I'm going to explain a little bit to how this card works. This is your captain card. So yeah, you can't really see that well, but you start with, okay. So you can shade pretty much any of these things in. You can shade that in, you can shade those in, you can shade those bubbles in, you can shade these in. Let's start with these. At the beginning of the game, you get to shade up to 6 of these boxes in. And for these numbers, the one that is the leftmost that is unshaded is the active number. So because nothing's shaded, if I were to play this card, I would have 0 points to spend on crew, 0 points to spend on weapons, and 0 points to spend on tech. However, I get 6 points, so I can, shade in all the way up to 6 points of crew. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in which case 6 here, which is the 7th box, will be the first unshaded box to the left. So I'd have 6 points. Or I could divide it so it's 2 in each, 1, 2, 3. Later on, after the first mission, you're allowed to start shading in your captain skill. And the way these work is, same thing, your starting skill is 2. If you shade that in, the next box is your skill, it's still 2. If you shade one of these boxes in, what happens is the box above it also gets shaded in. And once the box above it gets shaded in, this part's a bit fuzzy in my memory, you might want to reread this in your book, then you can start using this elite talent. You can use, when it comes to how much the elite talent costs though, I think it's the price of the unshaded number beneath it. So if I shade this one box in, I unlock an elite talent slot that's 2 points. If I shade this one in, I don't unlock a new elite talent slot, but I get the 3 points. I think if I shade this underline number in, because this 3 has an underline under it, it means that I unlock one of these. And the way I choose one of these is I shade in 2 of these boxes, well, 2 of these circles, and the one that I don't shade in is the one I use. And you can't change that. I think that's how it works. You might want to change that up a bit. So you only get 2 of these. So you'll want either a protective sleeve, or you'll want to photocopy these. Alright, so let's take a look at some of these cards quickly. Operations Officer and Faye spend a evade token beside this ship, repair 1 shield. Oh my gosh, I didn't know there was repair cards in this. I thought there weren't repair cards in this game. This changes everything. I gotta use this. Repair 1 shield on your ship. If I put Operations Officer on the Nova, and the Nova is a heavy shield ship, because I'm gonna build it that way, I'm gonna build it so it's heavily shielded. Oh man, that's gonna be so cool. I can take evade actions and it's so nice. Alright, Tactical Officer. When attacking, disable this card, reroll any number of your attack dice. That's gonna be cool. It's like a target lock. This is actually, when I think about it, unless you pair it with the EMH that's in here, this is one of those debt cards, I could call them, in that you're just performing a normal action, which is a target lock. It's giving you the power of a target lock. But you're getting it for free now, but you're going to have to pay for it later by undisabling it. So, I haven't labeled these. I'll have to, 1 to 7. Let's do a quick 1 to 7. Oh, I'll need to refresh my memory on my... I have a rating system of 0 to 7. 0 being a card is detrimental, 1 being a card is bad, 2 being a card is okay, 3 being a card is good, 4 being a card is a good card that I would choose to play, because there are some excellent cards people use that they just choose not to use because... No, that they say are bad because they wouldn't play them, but they admit that they're good, and then they put it in the bad pile. Like, what? Okay. So 4 is a good card that I would play, 5 is a great card, 6 is a great card that I would play, and 7 is an absolutely amazing card. Gotta use it. This is a game changer. Okay, so... End phase, spend for 2 points for a repair that isn't an action. You're using a evade, so that is technically an action, but it's multi-purpose. You can use that either during combat phase or not. I would say this is a great card that I would play. Even if it was just an action. Repair for 2 points. Great card I would play. So that is a 6. Tactical Officer. I would say he's in... Oh shoot, I just remembered I need to rethink all of this. Because this is 2 games. The Star Trek Attack Wing, some of these cards are not that... I would say Tactical Officer isn't that great for Star Trek Attack Wing, but he's probably really good for this game. So, disclaimer, my review for these cards is going to be based off of using them in Star Trek Attack Wing, I guess, maybe? We'll see, I don't know, it's late. So, this is a 5. This is a 3, is a good card. Helmsman. Activation phase. When this ship's maneuver is revealed, disable this card. Increase or decrease that maneuver by 1, even if the result of the maneuver does not appear on the ship's maneuver bar. Good card I would play. So that's a 4. Good card I know how to play it. Probably really good or great for Alliance, because there's no other cards that do this. But in Star Trek Attack Wing on its own, just a good card. This is Geordi, which is better than that. Science Officer, action, place 2 scan tokens beside this ship. Good card I wouldn't play, so that would be a 3 in Star Trek Attack Wing. But in Alliance, I would say that this is a great card and I'll play it. Just because there's less... These are the things you have to think about here, right? So this is a 3 out of 7 for Star Trek Attack Wing, but a 6 out of 7 for Alliance. And we've got Commander. Action, place 1 battle stations and 1 evade beside your ship. 5 points. This is a 6 for Star Trek Attack Wing, and I would say this is a 7 for Star Trek Alliance. This might be the best card in Star Trek Alliance. Okay, then we've got Calculating, a 1-point talent. Activation phase, disable this, discard this card. This game round, treat your captain skill as if it was 10. I'd say this is a 3. This is a great card. Actually, you know what? Because I'm going to have to slowly progress my captain skill up throughout this game, this would probably be a great card that I would play, which makes it a 6 out of 7. And in Star Trek Attack, so in Star Trek Alliance, 6 out of 7. In Star Trek Attack Wing, I would say it is a 4, a good card that I would play. Just because there's some better talents, but the Federation, mind you, does not have many 1-point talents. So I would be playing it. But I'm not really that into captain skill in Star Trek Attack Wing. So that's a what is that? That is a 3, a good card for Star Trek Attack Wing, but it is a 4 for Alliance, in that it's a good card that I would play. Okay. Evasive Pattern Delta. Combat phase. Spend a scan token, an evade token beside the ship. Discard this card. Perform a maneuver with a speed of 2 on this ship's maneuver dial. Great card I would play for this game. Good card, and I'd say, I don't know if I'd really use this in normal play. You know, I probably would. So this is a 4 out of 7 for Star Trek Attack Wing and a 6 out of 7 for Alliance. Inspiring! Planning phase. Target a friendly ship. Range 1. Remove 1 auxiliary power token beside that target ship. 2 points! Great card, and I'll play. So this is a 6 for both games, because I like support ships. Battle Hardened. Oh, this is another great card. This is probably a 7. This is going to be a 7 for this game, and probably a 6 for Attack Wing. If this ship spends a battle station's tokens, place 1 time token, which means you can use this. You can't use this anymore this round, but you can use it on your next round. And place 1 battle station, so you get 2 battle stations, basically. Whenever you spend a battle stations, get 1 back, but you can only do that once per round. That's all it is. 4 points. Wing Leader. This is Wing Leader, and this scene here is from Meshes in a Bottle, one of my favorite episodes. When a friendly ship is within range 1 and it's attacking or defending, the ship may reroll 1 battle stations. 3 points. I would say that's a good card, and I'll play in this game. And probably a good card, and I'll play it in Star Trek Attack Wing as well. I like support ships, man. I like support ships. Impulse Upgrade. Your ship's 2 banks and 2 straight maneuvers are green. 1 point tech. A 1 point Federation tech. That is great. These ships, however, don't really benefit from it that much. In my personal opinion, I don't think they benefit from that too much. So I'd say it is, for this game, a 4. It's an... You know what? No. I would say it's a 2. It's our first 2, everyone. It's an okay card for Star Trek Alliance. But this is one of the other exceptions because I would say it's a good card, and I would play it in Standard Attack-Wing, because in Standard Attack-Wing you've got a lot more different maneuver dials on your belt. So this card I think is better in Standard Attack-Wing than it is in Alliance. So it is a 4 for Standard and a 2 for Alliance. Okay, Impulse Efficiency. Execute Maneuver Step. You don't see that written on a card too many times. If this ship performs a white maneuver, place 2 time tokens on this card. Remove 1 auxiliary power token from this ship. Good card and I would use. You can always use with more aux management. That's for both cards. Both games. Maybe a little less so this card. So, 4. 4 for both games, we'll say. Detection Grid. Tech, 3 points. 1 to 3. This, I think, is going to be one of my great cards, or at least good cards. Combat phase, if there's a scan token beside this ship. Opposing ships that are both in range and in the ship's primary firing park roll 1 fewer defense dice when defending against another friendly ship. I'm going to say, for this game, a great card and I would use. For Star Trek Attack-Wing, a good card and I would use. And you, for Pete's sake, put this on the Excelsior. Then you can take out half the battlefield with this. Well, you can, affect half the battlefield. It's got a 180 arc. Okay, we've got Reinforced Shielding for 3 points. Add 2 to the ship's shield value for only 3 points. This ship on its own is worth a 2 shield upgrade. That's 4 points. Boom. 3 points. You're getting it for 1 point less. I'm going to mark this as a... I want to say it's a 7. I really want to say it's a 7. To me, it's a 7. To you, it's probably not. But I'm going to say it's a 7 in both games. So that's 3 7s we've gotten already. I'm going to put the 7s in a pile, actually. So we can go through and talk about our best cards. Okay, then we got the EMH. He is a action economy card. Place 2 planning phase, place 2 time tokens on this card. Remove 1 disable token on a crew upgrade equipped to the ship. That's great. That is great. 4 points. I say great. Do I mean great? You know what? I think I mean great. I don't know, it feels just kind of good. But I mean, that's a great ability. Okay, so to me, it doesn't feel like a quote-unquote great card. But when I look for an adjective to describe this ability, it's great. And I feel like it would be hypocritical for me to call a card good and then put it in a lower tier battle. Like, call a card great and put it call a card great and then put it in the good category, because I got upset with some reviewers who called ships good and then put them in the mediocre pile because they weren't as good as other things. So you know what? No, sorry. I said great. I mean it. This is a 6. It's a great card, and I'd play it. Maybe I wouldn't play it. It's a 5. It's a great card. It's a good card in Star Trek Attack-Wing, a great card in this. Yeah, it's great in both games. Okay, improved hull plating. When defending during the modify attack dice set to convert 1 crit to a hit, I would say this is probably a great card for Alliance, but I probably wouldn't play it. In normal play, I would say that this is a good card. Wouldn't play it, so this is 3. Subspace Field. Discard this card. Remove all aux tokens from beside all aux ships. I would say this is a good card and I'll play it for this game. So that's a 5. No, that's a 4. Why is it not great? Because it's a discard. Sorry. I would have rather had 3 time tokens. I'd say it's an okay card for normal attack. It looks like it may have stopped recording there. No! Well, to fill everyone in, just in case this actually stopped recording, I'm on the dorsal phaser array card. I'm going to say that this is a 7 for this game, and a 6 for Star Trek Attack. Overcharged phasers. Oh wait, it's 7 for this game. That needs to go into the 7 pile. Overcharged phasers. I love this. I'm really looking forward to this card. Not because it's the best, but just because it's cool and I wanted something like this for a long time. How does it work? It's a +1 attack die. And I know what you're thinking. Didn't the Lakota come with this, but better? So the Lakota came with on the hood, I think, both the Lakota and the hood came with similar cards. They had different names, and they were just Federation ships gain +1 attack die whenever they attack with their primary weapon. And it's a 2-point, all ranges. This one is 3-point, only range 2. Gains +1 attack dice. I think this is supposed to be the replacer for that. Essentially, this is the reason this is worse is because they understand that when they made those cards, they were broken, and they shouldn't be that broken again. I'm going to say this is a good card and I'll play for both games. So that's a 4. Full spread. Now, I think one of the designers really likes this card. I don't think it's a great card, but personally I would play it, so I'm probably going to say right off the bat that it's a 4. Good card and I would play. So let's see what it says. After attacking with your photon torpedoes, or any torpedo upgrade, that's cool, discard this card and the torpedo upgrade used. Make another attack with the same torpedo upgrade against a different target, even if the torpedoes is disabled at the time and you have no longer, or has time tokens and you no longer have a target lock. It's 5 points. Not sure whether this is worth the 5 points, but think about this here, right? Your enemies have 3 hull points, 2 shields. You're flying the Excelsior. You use your torpedo upgrade to shoot 4 dice with perfect quality. You got yourself a battle stations. Boom! You blow one up. You decide to trigger this off, and you fired another one. Oh no, you don't have the battle stations. Wait, what if you had battle hardened? Boom! Now you have the battle stations. You can destroy 2 ships, theoretically, in one shot, if they've already been damaged a bit. So, not in one shot. With the Akira, technically, with 5, because the Akira is a 4-dice ship, with the torpedoes, that's a 5-dice ship. If you manage to get 2 Jem'Hadar ships in your forward firing arc, and you do this, you could theoretically, in one turn, destroy 2 ships that are at full health. Not very likely, but if they roll on their defense roll nothing, then you're good. How could they roll nothing? Well, maybe if you use tachyon detection grid. Yay! What time is it? I really need to go to sleep. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, work's gonna be rough. Okay. So a good card I would use, that's a 4. Enhanced targeting. This ship may roll 1 attack dice. I would say that this is an okay card for Star Trek Attack Wing, but judging by how people have been talking about it, this is probably going to be a great card for this game. I'm going to put it at a 5. A great card. I don't know if I would use it because it just doesn't sound like it's a really pizzazzy great ability for 4 points. I like to do more. Quantum torpedoes. So these are apparently, this is the last card we have here. This is apparently the quantum torpedoes from the Defiant, but reprinted. It looks nicer. It's got the forward backward arc. Also, by the way, these cards, the elements are transparent. Spend this ship's target lock. Disable. Target opposing ship. If you hit, add 1 for 6 points. That's the old style. It doesn't sound cool. This is probably an okay card at best in Star Trek Attack Wing, but considering this is the... Oh, it's only a 5 dice attack. But considering if you're playing as an Oberth in this game, this will be the only way to get to 5 attack dice. If I'm playing as my little Nova here, which you can do, this is the only way to get to 5 attack dice, which technically makes this card, I can't believe I'm going to say this Quantum Torpedoes, which has the most basic of abilities, is a 7 for Star Trek Alliance. Because it's the only one, like, this is what I mean. Somebody, well, not what I mean, but someone pointed this out. This feels like early game. This feels like, you know, when Star Trek first released. I can't really speak for that myself. I didn't play it when it first released. But I did play it when I only had, like, the starter set and an Excelsior. Or the starter set and a Miranda. So, like, you know, I kind of had that feeling for a while. So let's review, shall we? Our mountaintop cards are Quantum Torpedoes. It's a 5 dice attack, but you can buff it up to 6 if you land all shots. Battle Hardened lets you use your battle stations twice. It's 4 points. Dorsal Phaser Array, 3 points. 3-point 360 fire, range 1 to 2. Commander, it's sort of like Gul Dukat. Kind of. So you get the battle stations and a evade for the price of 1 action. It's 5 points. And then we've got reinforced shielding, 2 shields for 3 points. Alright, now we're almost done. We're almost done. Whew. I need to check out what's under the box. And that is, I believe, if I remember correctly, 2 rule books and the range rule. Well, one's the rule book, which is the Combined Alliance Star Trek Attack Wing rulebook, and the other one is the campaign book. And from the looks of it, it's set up kind of like the ooh, a planet token. Ooh, so it's a blue gas giant, and it looks like a rocky, almost Mercury-like world. Okay, so you got your 6, and you got your range. Okay, so this is the rules of play, big book, and then we've got the Dominion War Campaign. This is the first one. Is it? It doesn't actually, yeah, War Campaign. This talks about the missions. Ooh, that one looks crazy. Act 2, Search for Survivors. Act 3, Preemptive Strike. No spoilers. Oh, and here's a progress tracker. So this is actually set up a lot like if you bought one of those giant ships from the X-Wing game, because they made like massive ships, they came with essentially a very small version of this. Or something similar to that. Even had a progress tracker. This is the new rule book. Now, let's see. Does this mention the rule of 3? It probably does, but if it doesn't, ooh-hoo-hoo. I don't know if that actually matters, because there aren't enough ships. I had a question earlier. I can't remember what it was. Right. Do AI ships take critical damage? Combat phase. Enemy AI. Dealing damage. During this step, ships that have been hit suffer 1 damage for each uncancelled hit result, and 1 critical damage for each critical result. For each critical damage, the ship must remove 1 active shield, has no blah blah blah. Page 31? I just want to know if the AI can take critical damage. Oh, cool. So when an enemy AI ship takes hull damage, it breaks formation. When a ship suffers... Oh, hi, my dog's just opened the door. Well, not my dog, but my sister's dog. Okay, it looks like the AI can take critical damage. Sensor echo? Sensor echo? Sensor echo? Why do we need to know about sensor echoes? I need to know. Let's find out. Is there a mission in here that talks about sensor echoes and cloaking ships? Da 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 da. Oh wait, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm gonna hide this out of camera. Da 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 da. I don't see anything about cloaking Dominion ships. I don't see anything about. Nothing yet. Huh. No. I don't see anywhere in this book about cloaking Dominion ships. So why did they include 2 cloak tokens and rules for sensor echoes? I can understand rules for sensor echoes in respect to the fact that this can act as a starter set for the normal game. But it's interesting. Oops. Yada 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 yada. Just put that gently back in place. Put the cards there, those cards there, the dice there, the thingy there, AI card face down, and then these right there. Come on, slide in place. Slide in place. The dice are in the way. Oh, come on. Not like this. That's better. And then we'll take the Akira, which is crooked. Hopefully the next Akira won't be crooked. Actually, you know what? Let's find out now. Let's open this one and see if the Akira is crooked. Let's find out whether all the Akiras are crooked or whether it's just that one. So much for keeping this sealed for posterity. Well, I'm hoping to play this soon. I can't get this open. I see a knife. We must find out the truth. Are all the Akiras broken? You call that a knife? Nah, man, it's just a little pocket knife. Nothing to worry about. Alright, the back. It looks like the back hasn't changed. Actually, it's changed quite a bit from the prototype. However, these seem to match the prototype quite a bit. No, actually, there's more. There's more images. Mind you, the box is wider, so they have more room for pictures. Almost done, everyone. We're almost done. Just need to find out, are all the Akiras crooked? And by all, I'm doing a sample group of 2. 1 to 2 players. Which is funny because the old starter set was 4 players. The whole point of this game is to be co-op. Co-op. Does anyone remember that old game, co-op? Am I too old? Oh no. Oh no. Is this crooked? Looks like the Excelsior has a crooked saucer. Tusk, tusk, tusk. Okay, is this guy straight? Let's just stick him on there and find out. No! He's also crooked. So yeah, it looks like the Akiras are sideways a bit. That's a bit disappointing. But not too unexpected. And I think we're going to call the video there. So I'm just going to hit stop on the computer and stop on here at the same time.